Hello everyone, this is Pauline Angel, URK20CS1015 from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Karunya. In this video, I'm going to explain you the array implementation of QADT. So let's get started. Our aim is to implement linear QADT in Python with basic operations in data structures and algorithms. So for this, I have created a class called QUE, which means Q. So in that, I have created a function definition, which is initializing size of the array, friend and rear. So before we get started, move on into the program. So let's first see what is this friend and rear is. So in a queue, we are having two ends, which is here in the right end, it is called the rear end, and here in the left side, it is called front end. So insertion and deletion will be done in two sides, like insertion will be done in the rear end and removal or deletion of the values will be done in the front end. This is going to follow the first in, first out condition. Like whenever a value is inserted, it is going to go into the front side, which means the front end, and removal will be done through the front end, which means the first value, it is going to be deleted first. The value which is going to be inserted first will be deleting first. So this is the first in, first out condition. So this removal, it is called DQ, and insertion, it is called NQ. So let's move on to the program. So for that, I have initialized the friend to the minus is equals to minus size, which means if we are giving the size of the array as 3, the friend will be equals to minus that size and rear will be 0. So here actually in the program which we are going to see, the values of whenever the value is inserted, always the rear will be pointing to the front. Initially, the rear will always be pointing to the first index position, which means if the array is empty before we are before we inserted any values or before we are giving any values, empty queue, when an empty queue is there, then the rear will be the rear will be pointing to the front, which means the front and rear will be pointing to the same position, same index position of the array. Here it is in the case of empty queue or empty array. Only if it is empty, then rear will be equals to front, or rear and front, in other words, rear and front will be pointing to the same index position. Or else when the queue is not empty, then rear will be incremented. So let's see in the program here how it is going to do. So here, since I have explained earlier, the front is equals to the minus of size and rear will be 0 initially when no values are inserted in the queue. Initially these are the conditions. So then I have created a function definition called NQ. So NQ, as we have seen earlier, NQ is for inserting and DQ is for removing. So in NQ, there will be two conditions. In the F condition, if the rear is equal to the size of the queue, which means when the size is equals to the rear, which means the queue is full. Only if the condition, only when the queue is full, the rear will be equal to the size. Since we are having a particular restricted value to be entered for the size, we cannot enter n number of values. Only here in this condition, we have only seven values. We can insert only 7 values here. We cannot insert 8 values. So if this rear is equal to 7, then it is implying that the array is full or the queue is full. We cannot add extra numbers, extra value like 8 values or 9 values. We can only enter 7 values. So when this rare is equal to the size, it means the queue is full. So we cannot add any more values. So if this condition is true, then it will say the queue is overflow, which means the queue is full. Or else, if the else condition, in the else condition, if the queue is not full, which means we can enter values, we can enter the values which are remaining. So we can enter, it will take the value which is going to be inserted from by the user. So it will take the value and it will print, it will add it to the array, or it will add it to the queue, and it will print that the particular number is added. So here, after inserting the values, the rare will be incremented by 1. So as I have mentioned earlier, before any insertions or before doing any inserting, the rare will be pointing to the front, which means the rare will also be pointing to the first index position. So whenever a new value or new number is being inserted, the rare will be incremented. Finally, after inserting all the values, all 7 values, or how many size the array is going to give, then it will point to the last position. Initially, the rare will be here, and then one by one, when the values are being inserted, the rare will be moving to the right side. So it will get incremented. So this is for the NQ function. So DQ, when it comes to DQ is for deleting elements or deleting values. So here also we have used an if else condition. So this if condition has 2 other conditions inside it, which means which are like, if the rare is less than the front, we have initially here we have initialized that front is equals to minus the size. So if this rare is less than this front, then it will say that the queue is empty. Whenever the condition like queue is empty, then only rare will be less than the front. The position or the value of rare is less than front only if the queue is empty. So that's one condition. Or else, if the front is equals to 0, which means it has no other values and front is only equals to 0, then it also implies that the queue is empty. So these two conditions, if these two conditions are true, then this if condition print that the queue is underflow, which means the queue is empty or it is not having any values. So if you cannot delete or insert, you cannot delete any values. You can insert, but you cannot delete. So or else the else part will be implemented. So if the queue is having values, then it will delete the first value which is in the front. Since it is going to follow the first in first out condition, the first element or the first value here, like if it is having 1 here, when we give the queue, when we give the DQ command, then the first value which is here in the front will be removed. And after removing, the position, the element here, the number here which is here in the second position will be incremented to the first position, which is what we have written here in the code, which means after popping out the first number, the number next to the popped out element will be taking the position of the first position, which means the front will be incremented by 1. And after that, the last finally we have display function here to display the elements in the queue. If the length of the queue is equals to 0, then it will say that the queue is empty, or else it will print the elements in the queue. And here we have written program so that the user is going to select what conditions they are going to implement. Like if they are going to give number 1, it will ask it will direct it to the enqueue definition NQ, function definition NQ. So NQ, what's the role of NQ? NQ is going to insert values. So 2 is for dequeuing, which means if the user wants to pop out any element, they are going to use dequeue, and display is to see what the elements are, and 4 is for exiting the whole program. So here we have used if-else ladder. So let's see how this code works. Let me execute it and let me show you. We are asking the user to give the size of the array or size of the queue. So first it will ask us to give a particular value for the size of the queue. So here, yeah, so it is asking us to enter the size of the queue. Let's give 3, and then it is asking us to select a choice: NQ, DQ, display, and exit. Let's first enter the values. So we have to give number 1, which is NQ. Now it is asking us to enter the value or to insert. Let us give 66. So it is showing as 66 is added in index position 0. And then I'm again inserting. Since we have given the size of the queue as 3, we can enter up to 3 elements. So again, I'm going to insert other value. Now let's insert 99. Yeah, it is showing 99 is added in first index position. Here 0 is 0 index position, 1 is first index position. We can add another value too. So let's enter again. Yes, now we'll enter 100 to insert into the queue. Now let's see. Yeah, 100 is added in position number 2. So position number 2 is nothing but the size is actually 3. So index 2 is the final slot which is going to accept values. Other than this, it won't take values. Let's see how it will give the output if you want to insert other value. Let me enter again NQ. Let's see how it is going to give the output. So it is asking us to enter for insertion. Let us give 77. See, it is showing queue overflow, which means we cannot add any other value. The queue is already full. We cannot add any other value. So let's see the display here. Let's see what values it is going to display. Yeah, 66, 99, and 100. The values which we have entered, it is showing us. So now let's see the DQ option, DQ function. Let me give 2. And yeah. So DQ is nothing but it is going to delete the first number. So 66 is in the first position, so it has deleted 66. Now let me give again 2. Yeah, it has deleted 99 because the front is incremented, and after 66 has been deleted, 99 will take the position of 66, and then 99 will come into the front position, and then after when we give option 2 again, it has deleted 99. Now let's see what values it is having right now. Let me give display again. It is only having 100. So let's give again DQ. What will be, yeah, it has deleted 100 also. So now if you are going to delete again, let's see what it is going to display. Yeah, it is showing that the queue is underflow, which means the queue is empty and has no other values to delete. So that's why it is showing that the queue is underflow, which means the queue is empty and you cannot delete any other values. Now let's see display here. We are giving display 3. It is showing that the queue is empty. So which means the queue is underflow or queue is empty implies the same. So let's see. Let's try to insert other values here. Now let's see what will happen if now I'm going to insert values again. So yeah, it is asking us to enter the value. Yeah, okay, I will enter 55. But it is still showing the queue is overflow, which means in this kind of program, which means we are following in a this procedure of array implementation is called naive way. So in this naive way, we cannot insert values once the values are deleted. Once if you insert and delete some values, there is no other way to fill in the values again. The kind of it implies that the array will not accept values once you delete it. It will be deactivated. You cannot enter values, or you cannot delete values. So this is called the naive way. So let's exit from this program. We have seen all conditions. Yeah, it has stopped executing. So this is how we implement Q in array implementation of QADT in data structures and algorithms. Hope you understood this well. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.